Welcome back, Namaste. Welcome back to Labyrinth Butterfly. This is a reading for the Divine Masculine. Welcome back, Divine Masculines. I really, truly hope you are getting these messages and are tuning in for them. This is your new moon reading for the energy of the moon beginning its cycle in Pisces. I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there that we just moved into a Mercury retrograde phase today. So I actually chose to pull these cards before that retrograde kicked in fully. And I'm going to be reading them tonight for you. And I'm going to be as clear as I possibly can. I'm going to take my time, and I'm not going to rush this reading. There are a lot of cards out, and the message is very dense. So I'm going to do the best I can with giving you the most clarity that I can right now. So again, this is a Divine Masculine energy reading for the collective. For all of the Divine Masculine energy, including that of which the Divine Feminines carry within. So take that with a grain of salt, however you want to put it, whether you're looking at this being a reading for your Divine counterpart, yourself, or your better half, which I claim to say is, the equality of both our Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine selves. So, with that being said, I'm going to first dive into the underlying energies here. And I will put in the description box what cards I'm reading with. That way I don't have to take too much time. But the dream of GAIA Tarot is usually the one I pull from to get the higher vibrational energy that the Divine Masculine is carrying. This can mean in the 4D, the 5D, the higher dimensions, not necessarily the physical plane reality of the tangible mind, but potentially, depending on how awakened you are, Divine Masculine, this may be conscious or subconscious or unconscious, but it is still your higher self channeling the energy and the messages down. So the underlying energy that's coming down from the higher dimensions for the Divine Masculine energy right now has to do with perception. So this is where the Divine Masculine's energy is kind of like coming through, okay? So the perception is a major arcana card. It's a pretty intense being. It is a number 21 card. So with perception, the Divine Masculine is looking at things from a completely different set of eyes at this point. And not only looking, but feeling, right? Understanding, tapping into, determining from a different perspective. And that perspective also, that card, hold on just one second, I'm just trying to actually flip to it in the book. I like to look at the keywords for these cards because they're so extremely complex. So the Divine Masculine is realizing that, knowledge and understanding can be limited in certain ways. The change of perception can also not be unchanged. So once we begin to perceive life or what's going on in our lives in a different way, from a different dimension potentially, since this is coming from the higher. It's a bit difficult to go back. So when we begin to see a new perspective, our other perspectives start to become challenged. So it's kind of our duty to represent ourselves honestly at that point. And at that point, we are basically then thrown into, from this influence card, pertaining to like how we organize our thoughts, how we identify ourselves, how we interpret information. We get the card of the Two of Fire. The Two of Fire actually came up in another reading that I did for a Divine Masculine about a week ago. This card also came up in his reading. So this is definitely a part of what's going on for the collective Divine Masculines. And this card is such a mirror image. I can't even tell you how strong this is. And it's also, for twins, this card is very powerful. It's kind of like the Two of Cups, but it speaks directly to entwined partnership, supporting one another. I want to say the word inflaming one another, but that's not really a word, I don't think, but it's just something that it's kind of coming out naturally. So it's this new perspective of what the Divine Masculine is beginning to perceive is possible. Because even the colors in this card, these two beings are dressed in like flaming yellow and flaming orange, and it's just this orange and reds and yellows, and it's all this like lower chakra, mid chakra color tones, so it's really talking about like power, like your power center, and it's a place of sharing. So it's a power sharing, it's partnership, it's mentorship, it's equality, it's teamwork, mutual interests, ambition, all of these things, aligning with another. This is exactly what this is. It's a union card, and seeking the real like equality of energy exchange is what I get from this card more than anything. Somebody that can help you overcome your obstacles, somebody that can see you, somebody that can mirror you, someone that is you. So I feel like this being such a flamey card is really speaking to the Divine Masculines coming into a new perspective on what the twin flame relationship is all about, and what that is kind of, doing to their lives, and how that is altering the course of what's going on for them in their lives. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to speak on with that card. It's so much about manifestation and about your goals and the outcomes, and really representative of teamwork and working together in a harmonious way. So I think that that's the key, I really want to make a point to say that like we can choose karmic situations that allow us to feel like we may be supporting one another, when in reality the equality of that service being shared may not be of equal value. This is kind of what happens in a lot of situations where our power dynamics start to crumble the, beauty of who we are as individuals, as shared partners, as beings that are based on unity consciousness. So it could get a bit challenging. Anyway, I feel that what these cards are talking about right now for the Divine Masculine is that his perception is starting to shift, and this is really coming down from a higher dimensional place, and that is where this partnership of this fiery nature is being born, okay? And this new perception is shifting a lot of his reality. And then there are other things that are playing out down below, that higher self holding space for that in their hearts, okay? So I want to move down into the next stage here of how this new energy being filtered down from the higher dimensions is affecting the heart space in terms of the divine union, what the masculines are dealing with in their heart space right now, and what their healing process is. So the underlying energy from the Enchanted Tarot that I'm using to read the heart space for the Divine Masculine is the Emperor card, another major arcana. So the Emperor in this deck speaks a lot to the masculine energy being honestly solo and dominant, very much capable of climbing his own mountain, very much having achieved everything thus far on his own, being able to look out at the base of this mountain on all of this stillness and this creation that he's created, having influence over others, being able to hold his own seat. And yet there is a side to the Emperor that is often underseen, and that is his, want basically to not be infallible, his desire to not, seem like an underachiever, because his whole demeanor is about achievement. His whole outward appearance is his need to be recognized as a strong, imposing figure of unquestionable achievement and authority. He is like the man, basically. So underneath this, there's, things that are not revealed. There are plans, there are feelings, there are weaknesses that are not always revealed. So there's a shield in the heart space, and that shield is the Emperor, okay? And the Divine Masculine has been holding that shield because it's vital to his status, all right? And it's vital to it's vital to him holding his space, I suppose, because really in the rest of these cards that are coming here, like, he's going through a lot in his heart. Like, his heart is really hurting, okay? So when I look at these cards, I feel like I want to cry, and there's a lot of defeat that the masculine is feeling in his heart, okay? So we're going to explore that a little bit here, and let's just go into the first card, okay, which is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is the card of defeat. Okay, so we have these 5 lightning bolts striking down from the sky. This card is about learning how to surrender and accept when you are defeated. This is not something that comes easily for the Divine Masculine. They're not, they're not wanting to accept defeat. And in ways, because we also have the 4 of Swords right after that. So the 5 and the 4, also very sacred numbers here, okay? 5 and the 4 next to one another. Both swords, both blue cards, both mind, the mind affecting the heart here, masculines. Your mind affecting your heart. Remember, perception is underlying your higher self. Your perception does directly affect your feelings. So we have the defeat card and the seclusion card. So not only is the masculine defeated, he's alone. He's choosing to be alone, or maybe he's been forced into being alone. Either way, this seclusion is necessary for his heart at this time. So what we want to remember about these cards, because I'm going to tell you, masculines, that you have the Sun card in this spread, okay? It comes towards the end of this reading in terms of the tarot cards, but it is here. So the Sun card being here and the 2 of Fire being here, even the Emperor being here, is showing that your masculine energy is working its way to its positive outcomes. So we need to remember that in times of defeat, it's always best to sow the seed of future success, right? It's like sometimes we think we know what we want, and then we get it, and then we're not satisfied. And so this lesson that is being taught to the heart is that, be careful what you wish for, because you may think that the package deal that you're signing up for is got all the bells and whistles and, has broke all your circuits and your senses, and everything has just been off the charts, and that's exactly what you needed and what you wanted and what you prayed for, and then it came, and then you got struck by these 5 lightning bolts, not bulbs, and you're like, what the fuck, right? But this violent storm that's happening in your heart, masculine, is in itself a victory, okay? And you have to accept and surrender, because sometimes the cost is too high to fight, okay? So you're learning to let go. You're learning to surrender. You're learning that really sometimes you have to just walk away, okay? Because there's nothing else that can be done. And you're walking away into the Four of Swords, into the seclusion card, into the inner world of the Buddha, into your inner Buddha, into your sacred sanctuary, because you need to be in seclusion to properly deal with this situation. And this situation is your heart. This is a way for you to retreat from the pain and the conflict and the distractions and rid yourself of stress and over-anxiety about what's going on in your physical reality, which is causing this heartache. But you are past the Three of Swords, so you're past the initial heartbreak, okay, for whatever situation that you are dealing with currently, and you're taking the time to ground yourself and recharge yourself and to look inward for real change, okay? And that's great. Meditation, great. Take this place of seclusion to find your stability and to calm yourself, to center yourself, to just come back to your center. And this is something that the masculine energy is strategically choosing to do. Okay, so for all the feminines that are listening, please be aware that the masculine energy is strategically choosing to withdraw their energy because their heart needs time. So take the sanctuary, masculines, and retreat. Retreat from the chaos and really do your self-examination, do your meditation, and receive the guidance from your higher mind, because this period of repose is what is going to help you call in and accept the new perspectives that are being given, which is that through all of this turmoil, defeat, reconciliation of self, you're the hanged man. Okay? And that's a major arcana, spiritual world card. And you are fully in suspension. You are in suspended animation. You are, under a blue sky and above the flowering earth. A man hanging upside down, suspended by one foot from the tail of a dragonfly. Okay? And it's your time to get in touch with why you feel restricted or stuck, with why your heart has been restricted and stuck. So you're in this state of suspension. Right? And things are being seen from a new perspective. And because of that, change can occur. So recognize that you're not being punished unjustly. This is not a punishment to your soul. And I really need the masculines to hear this, okay? You didn't do anything wrong. I want to repeat that. You didn't do anything wrong. This is not a punishment. Okay, the universe is not punishing you. It's basically a sign. Everything that's happening is a sign to see things from a different and a higher perspective. So, delays, they're out of your control. You're recognizing that. And, you know, in some regards, the masculine is simply taking their time with their heart because they know that they need to take this introspective look at everything that's going on, that everything that's happened, for everything that they've been through in order to get to where they're going, okay? And the Five of Hearts is also out here, and the Five of Hearts, it is another card of heartbreak and disappointment, and it's like these tears of rain or crying from the sky, right? But the masculines need to understand something. They need to learn what rejection and disappointment feels like. They are learning what it feels like to, I don't want to say like to be let go of, but to just know that, you know, that it's not even that they're getting let go of. I shouldn't like project that that's what's happening, right? Because I don't know everybody's situation. But even like the feeling that you must walk away from something or someone, right? It's like just the recognition that this is also all happening as a way to gain experience from your disappointment. Because if you've everything that's happened, if you learn from your experience, you gain future success. Okay? So I really feel like the masculine here, this energy is like they're having to go through all of this, like even the sadness and the disappointment of potential life goals, partnerships, things that just didn't play out the way they thought they might have. That defeat, right? A seemingly harmonious relationship has been shattered. This is like written, okay, in this card's definition. I'm not making this up. At the very least, there has been unkindness and loss of friendship. So in the card, this woman is giving a long, sad sigh and hopes that this moment of deep emotional vulnerability will pass. But know that this will pass, okay? Know that this will pass, Divine Masculines. The flowers are the universal signs of love, and love can and will always bloom again. It can and will always bloom again. Okay, masculines? So, it's intense, heavy, heavy heart energy. And we're going to move forward because we just took a lot of time on the heart space, but I really wanted to be very clear on that. So, moving into the mystical tarot and how these energies are showing up in the physical 3D world scenario for the Divine Masculine. We have the underlying energy of the Eight of Wands. So this energy is moving very, very fast, swift, passionately, fiery, butterflies bound to these wands that are being propelled out into the air. You know, this energy is moving fast, people. Communications about things, the physical shifts in the reality. We have the Five of Cups. So we have a being that's cloaked who has 3 cups that have been poured out and 2 cups that remain. So he's looking out into the universe, you know. So there is a lot that has been lost, that's been spilled out, but not all is lost. Divine masculines, you still have 2 cups, and, you know, again, mirroring the 2 of fire in your higher dimensional outlook here, okay? So remember that your cups are there, and understand that there are always consequences to emotional choices, right? So the divine masculine is realizing that and going through a lot of emotional consequences that have come up in the physical reality based around all of these energies right now. And this is what's currently happening with this new moon energy. But where there is an end, there's always a beginning, and we have an Ace of Swords following suit. So that's a very clear way to begin the clearing out of everything that's happening. So there's been a lot of mental clarity and a lot of communication. So these things are both very enhanced for the divine masculines right now. There's a lot of truth being spoken, and there's a lot of wisdom that's also being spoken. And the feeling I get here is that I feel like the divine masculines really spilled their cups. Like they really emotionally revealed themselves in their situations. And I do just honestly feel this has a lot to do with karmic energy, karmic situations, karmic relationships. This could also be like what's about to come, too. Again, please remember, everybody, that Mercury is retrograde, so doing my best to understand the outline here. But there's this this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and it's kind of like the forward movement of material world things is a little bit confusing right now for the masculine. It's almost like he's like, what am I going forward towards anymore? Right? Like, what am I going forward towards? So I feel like there's a little bit of like a question there. But then we also have the 10 of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles and the Sun card. But then we also have the Chariot in reverse. So the Chariot, it's like not moving forward. It's like he's almost okay. It's like he's not ready to move forward yet. He's not ready to work towards any kind of like union with the divine feminine, but she's here, right? She's still in the picture, because the picture of the Ten of Cups, this total fulfillment card, is there, right? And the Queen of Pentacles is there, and the Sun card is there. And that's kind of like it's like where he's going. You know, it's really where the divine masculine knows he needs to be. But yeah, I'll be honest. I think that the divine masculine's energy right now is trying to mentally get clear with all these changes that have come. And he's got to keep moving forward and envisioning his emotional fulfillment. And that comes with, you know, having emotional stability, financial stability, abundance with this Queen of Pentacles energy, and not necessarily moving forward with the Chariot, like not necessarily moving forward fast and furiously, you know, into union, let's say, because I really see the Chariot as like a union card, right, with the sun and the moon and the juxtaposition of this black and white horse, and very much a union card, but rather moving towards the sun, moving towards working on himself, and really needing to see that's here and that's possible for him. So not just chasing the material world, chasing the emotional fulfillment, and by doing that, gaining the stability of the Queen of Pentacles, and, you know, rediscovering his positivity in being a child of the sun. And I love that energy. It's just really beautiful. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, I decided to ask a direct question to the Divine Masculine Collective, because this is always really on the mind of the feminine. What is going on with him, or what does he want to tell me about his journey, these kinds of things. So not just to satisfy the divine feminines who are listening, but also to give voice to the collective masculine energy. So I took some cards from the spirit messages, and the underlying energy was find your center. Okay, so the divine masculines are telling us that they are really focused right now on trying to find their center. And as all of us know, that like when we get thrown off our center and knocked down and go through crazy tower moments and have these things happen, it's like everything that you can do to try and center yourself again is like, it takes all of you. It takes all of you in order to do that. And so that's what the masculines are trying to do. That's their charge right now, is working on finding their center. they get the card of support. So they're recognizing that that they're being supported, that people are coming into their lives to help them, that they're learning and moving forward. And they're just seeing, I feel like this message is that they're really seeing that they're seeing all of the people around them who are there for them, who are teaching them, who are sharing with them. They're even like thanking the divine feminines and the divine masculines who are out doing these readings and, you know, putting themselves out there and extending their hands and their hearts and their minds and their, you know, guidance. And they know that they're being supported by the angels and the guides around them, and they're feeling this and they're getting all these intuitive nudges. That's the next card. You know, the language of the soul is speaking to them, and their inner knowing, their intuition is supremely heightened right now. And they're realizing that they're really tapping into that as being one of the greatest gifts that they possess. So they're really connecting to their higher selves, the universe, and to their spirit, to the divine spirit. So that to me is really also showing that their feminine sides are being activated through this heart expansion and this heart hell that they're going through. It's opening them, and they also have the card of take a moment. So stop. This card reads, stop. Now is not the time to rush into a decision you're about to make. So before these important decisions are made, take moments to pause, quiet your mind, so that you can ask your soul for guidance before you act and move forward. And this is a card of, you know, the butterfly, really engaging like spirit with the mind. And, you know, they are going through a major transformation. Divine masculines, you are in your chrysalis, you know, you're in your chrysalis and you're taking that time, and we hear you and we respect you and we honor that. So all good things for the masculines. Okay, so then I moved into let me be clear. Okay, I moved into the Sacred Traveler deck to find out what blocks were coming up that needed to be released for the divine masculines during this new moon phase, as we're going into this new moon phase. And the underlying energy there is that the divine masculines need to remember and realize that they are protected by angels, okay? You are protected by your angels, you are cherished, and they're always there for you. So no matter how lonely it feels, no matter how hard this time is, you are protected, okay? The divine masculines, again, getting another clear message that support is all around you with the fellow travelers card. So, you know, not even though you're choosing to go into seclusion with this Four of Swords and go inward, find your center, don't disconnect yourself completely from your fellow travelers, from those that are on the path, that understand you, that understand the journey, that understand what you are here for and what you are going through. Because you have the Great Adventure card, okay? You need to be willing to take a risk and to venture forward. And that is scary for you, and that's a big block to be willing to get in that ship and sail out into the ocean. I mean, this is the Viking ship, this is a fierce warrior's vessel. And the divine masculines are being called out to step into their great adventure. And I just got chills up my body when I said that. So that's a really intense card. So then we get answering the call. Okay? And I really love this card because I feel like it's so direct. I mean, the time is now. The time is now is the card. But the directness of it for me is that this young maiden is throwing open the door of let's call it the castle wall, and she's just running out into the light. And the deer, the stag even, I will say, because it's definitely a buck, is out there she's just going. She knows that she has to go. She knows that she has to answer the call. She knows that the time is now, and she's going, So the divine masculines have to learn to listen to that call and, hear the mother calling them and know when it's time. And you get the distant thunder card as well. So clearing the air. There is storms in the distance, and the divine masculine has to get through that. I'm gonna actually, let's read that card. Read that card, get something deeper. Distant thunder. Dramatic purification, renewal, and healing are occurring on many levels. Don't be concerned if there is chaos in your life. In this instance, it is good. It is shaking things up so you don't become stagnant. If your auric field or your personal space is cluttered, it's difficult for exciting new experiences and opportunities to come into your life. It's time to clear out clutter, release the old, discarded, and unused. Clear the air and release situations and people who don't empower you. Purify the dross out of your life in order for renewal to occur. The old needs to make way for the new. Yeah, so, letting go, letting that distant thunder roll and letting it just move on, because, you gotta make way for the new. You can't just be held up in this, castle on a balcony, looking out and not actually running out that gate and just going and getting on that boat and following your rainbow and following the wanderer and the peacock and all this beauty. Oh my God, so intense, masculines. And what messages are coming in from the native spirit guides for you now? Your energy cards, like what you need to be determined with now. And you get the underlying message of the talking stick. So praying, a lot of praying and a lot of talking. All these things going on right now for the masculine. Masculine, speak your truth. Okay? This is your time. Speak your truth, brothers. Speak your truth. The soul loves truth. Communicate from your heart and share your reality without hesitation. Be willing to stand before the crowd and share from your center. This isn't the time to be shy and hesitant. It's a time to heal through communication. You have the gift of a true leader through the way you communicate with others. Yes. Share yourself. Share who you are. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You get Grandmother Earth. The Earth Mama is calling. She's calling for you. Okay, this beautiful card of the sunrise. You know, she's asking you to rise up, divine masculines. You know, rise up and shine and help all these other beings bloom. This field of wildflowers, you know, it is our job. It is our mission. It is our collective vision as twins. It is our journey here in this time as these precious souls that we've, you know, chosen to come in and do this work together, you know, to really be the elders, be the soul elders that we are. This is the elk medicine. Oh, brother, like this is the elk medicine, okay? You literally have the elder elk card here. You know, this is the one who paves the path. This is the one who shines the light, who breaks who breaks the what I'm trying to say, breaks ground. You know who you are. You know what you're doing. You know why you're here. You have the spirit keeper of the east. Again, the sunrise. Again, the double mountains. Again, the richness of the forest. The trees being grown up. You know, this elder elk looking behind him and seeing the herd that he's leading. This is the energy that you bear now. Don't waste it. The time is now. You are the spirit keeper of the east. You are the rising sun. Where the sun is risen every day lies the divine masculine energy and his power. And you have the spirit of air, the vastness of the 100-mile views. Okay, I'm going to read the spirit of air because I love this card. Divine masculines. Clarity and expansion. Clarity and expansive perception of life is emerging from the end to the beginning. Full circle here. We have the perception and the perception in the higher. Remember, new perspectives. Clear out mental clutter. Breathe. All is well. Do not be concerned. The cobwebs are being cleared away. Communicate your truth. Take care of details. Pay attention. And don't let things slip through the cracks. Take time to hear the truth of others. Spirit is whispering to you, open your mind to see a situation in a new light. I love you, divine masculines. I love you, my brothers, my soul brothers, my twin soul brothers. I am so dedicated to seeing the reunions happening here of yourselves, the higher self unions, the centering of your energies, the realization of this new perspective of being able to be in harmonious relationships, in harmonious partnerships, in power sharing situations with others that are, fellow travelers on this journey. You're so powerful, masculines, and you're so brave and wise, and you are here to do so much. You're here to change the way this world views itself in so many ways. So stay strong, do your work, know who you are, hold yourself in the highest of regards, and be humble to the work that's going on in your heart right now. Be mindful of clearing the air and just developing your perspective to be from the highest standpoint that you possibly can find yourself at in this now. I pray that everybody has a most spectacular new moon. Happy Shivaratri to all of you who are listening. Blessings on this journey, and I truly am grateful and honored to be able to do these readings, and I pray that they only help others and help others heal and grow and expand and ascend to higher versions of themselves on this planet and in their spiritual journey at this time. Please stay in touch, stay in tune. If you require further assistance, if you need to contact me, if you want a private reading with me, all of those informations are down below in the description box. I'm honored if you subscribe to this channel, if you share these videos with other people who you feel they may resonate with and they may help to understand themselves and grow in higher resolution with who they are on this planet at this time. And now I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop. Thank you, Mercury, for allowing me to get this message as clear as I possibly can. I pray for you all. I send you love and light. I look forward to seeing you, and I will be here when you return. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma. Happy new moon. Take care.